I was thinking about something. I started my talk show in 2000, and it was basically on a dare. And what I learned is I was on this one interview. It may have been my first interview with a detective. And so I was really, really nervous. Wanted to make sure I didn't mess up. But come to find out, he was nervous of me. And I'm thinking in my mind, and he said at the end, he was like, I'm sitting up here nervous and sweating. And in my mind, I'm thinking, he's nervous and afraid to mess up in front of me. And he's like this big police guy, detective, taking people down for major crimes and things like that. And here I am. Uh, Here he is nervous of me. And so what that taught me is basically you have to be who you are supposed to be. So what I did is I just made a choice to be. Sometimes that's what we got to do. We have to be who we are supposed to be. That is, walk in your giftedness, your calling, your talent, whatever it is God gave you to do, because life is good when life is true to the things that we are called to do. So we're talking about being who we are supposed to be. And what that means is you are who you were born to be. You maybe work on your job. You go there, people know you as Sandra or Joe or Karen or Andy or whatever your name is, whatever your personality is. You go to work every day as that person. Now, you know within yourself, if you're on a job and you aspire to be or to do more, you know within yourself what that is that you want to do. Well, you actually won't do it until you start to do it. And so here's what I mean by that. I restarted my talk show, the Rhonda K Show, this past summer, as I said in the previous clip. Now, what happens is we will do all of these wonderful things for another company. We have all the confidence in the world to be able to do all these things, these great things for another company, and we're proud of it. And so we have to learn to be that for ourselves. And we won't do it until we do it. So if you are called to be a talk show host, if you are called to sing, if you are called to dance, to act, to be a doctor, to be a great athlete, to teach, whatever it is you are called to do, you have to begin to walk in it, meaning you have to start being it. I can recall as a kid, we played school a lot, and so I would be the teacher. And if I could not be the teacher, then I didn't want to play. And that probably had something to do with me being the oldest. I thought I knew the most. And so I naturally, of course, was going to be the teacher. And of course, my little sister, who's only 2 years younger than me, 2.5 years younger than I am, if I told her I did not know something, she actually didn't believe me because she thought that I should know the answer to everything that she asked me. And so subconsciously, I believe that developed my confidence because I never wanted to disappoint people with an answer. So if I didn't know it, I would make it my business to know it so that I would be able to teach it or to tell it. And so what I'm saying is some of you have desires on the inside. You want to start a business. You want to write a book, or you want to do this huge or great thing, but when you think about it, it's overwhelming. Well, here's how to get over that. We talked about in the other video where we quieted our minds. Well, when you quiet your minds, if you didn't see that video, go back and take a look at it. When you quiet your mind, you can think creatively. And whatever problems you have, you do begin to think differently about them. They don't bother you as much. You can think creatively about it. So what you're going to do in this instance is you're just going to be, for instance, I am a talk show host. There are many days I don't feel like working in that capacity. I don't feel like being the Rhonda K Show. However, there's something that just turns on when it's time for me to do an interview. And that is because of a decision that I made. I was talking about the detective who I made him nervous and he was making me nervous. We both made each other nervous because we both had these huge thoughts about the other person. And people are just people. We're all people having the same types of experiences. And things get easier as we do them. And so what I learned is I have to be Rhonda K of the Rhonda K Show when it's time for me to be Rhonda K. And then when I can relax like I am now, these videos I do and share nuggets of wisdom and information and experiences, I do these for fun, so it's a lot more relaxed. But it can be the same in your job. You step into who it is you're supposed to be. You see yourself as that individual, then you become that individual, and it gets easier. It's you have to be able to see yourself like whatever I want to do in the morning. If I want to have a productive day, then before I get out of bed, then I'm going to see myself doing those things. For instance, if I want to take a 2-minute shower, and I'm making this up, I've never actually been able to get that down, but if I practice it, then I can get down getting in and out of the shower in 2 minutes, and I know it's possible. So you have to see yourself doing whatever it is that you have planned for that day, and at the end of the day, you recap, and sometimes you'll see how you could have done better so that you could fit more into that day. But sometimes you will just surprise yourself as to how much you actually got done. And so when it comes to me being who I'm supposed to be, I am a media and tech professional, and I get up and I do those things that a media and tech professionals do each day. I go out and I try to make deals. I go out, I contact customers. I'm an entrepreneur. If I don't work, I don't eat. I know the true meaning of that saying when they say, if you don't work, you don't eat. So if you want to write a book, then you are a writer. If you want to call yourself a writer, begin calling yourself a writer today. Start writing. A good mentor of mine told me I wanted to write a book of poems. She said, write one poem a day, and at the end of 30 days, you'll have 30 poems, which essentially is a book. And I did that. So if you want to write a book, then start writing. Now you are a writer because you are writing. And once you start operating in that capacity, you won't ever do it. You think about, you study people who do what you do. You look at them. How do those people act? How do they talk? How do they think? If you don't know how they think, go and learn how they think. What types of things does a writer do? Do they do research? What kind of research? Where do they research? How do they research? Do they conduct interviews? And how do they conduct those interviews? This is how you become. One of the greatest books I enjoyed reading, it was an audiobook by Michelle Obama called Becoming Michelle Obama. I could see everything that she read and narrated the book herself, and I enjoyed that because it was in her voice. And so you are becoming the person you are supposed to be every day, and you have to purpose to do those things who you are called to be every day, and that's how you become fulfilled. I'm Rhonda K, and I hope what I had to say can help you out along the way.